the Independent National Commission on Human Rights issued a statement recognizing the role of elections in promoting human rights, sustaining peace, and enhancing democratic stability. In that statement, we call on all stakeholders to reflect on inclusion, equitable use of public resources and facilities, access to polling places, guiding against the use of inflammatory language or hate speech, free and balanced press, impartial security, and peaceful resolutions of disputes, among others. Today, we renew that call. The government, political parties, security apparatus, media, and the general citizenry should highly consider these factors, as this election is historic. The first that will see a power transition from one democratically elected government to another since 1944. To this end, we want to congratulate everyone for the gains made thus far. The historic turnout during the vote registration, to the continued commitment to the Ganta and Farmington declaration by political parties are good signals that the Commission welcomes. While we are not yet at the end, we want to say hats off to all of us for the contributions thus far. Nevertheless, today marks day 2 of an important and crucial activity in these elections. The election calendar, as outlined by the National Election Commission, declared July 31, 2017 as the launch of political campaigns. It is expected that during this campaign period, our political actors will try as much as possible to do all it takes in getting the requisite support to become victorious. We are aware that rallies will be held, marches will be carried out, and speeches will be made. Fellow Liberians, cognizant of these facts, the Independent National Commission on Human Rights, the NCHR, is therefore calling on all actors, political parties, candidates, executives, party workers and agents, the people of Liberia and the entire citizenry of Liberia, and specifically the youth, to be reflective of our past and conduct themselves in a manner that bespeaks peace, development, rule of law, and civility. We are imploring the conscience of our young people, who due to their population have the average age of voting or registered voters, to refuse being used by politicians as harbingers of violence, destructions, and setbacks. I would appeal for calm and respect for the rule of law during this campaign season hinges on the historical antecedents of the war years and its long effects on Liberia and other nations. The lessons that violence and abuse of human rights taught us are unforgettable and hurting 9 miles in our collective and individual lives. Since 2003, we as a people have made the decision never to slide back down to that road. We are also conscious of the fact that we are humans who might be tempted to forget the past. It is our anticipation that by this reminder, Liberians will operate and conduct themselves in the framework befitting of a peace-loving nation. As we proceed in these campaign times, threatened very consciously with fear of triggers of violence, we should also bear in mind that election is not necessarily the panacea for political and economic problems, but rather a process that leads to identifying and solving those problems. Our problems will persist if we let our eyes off the essence of this election. And the essence of this election is to unify our country and build a democratic process. This election comes as a platform through which we can express our thoughts for the development of the country, constructively provide alternatives, and construct a workable plan that will see the future of this country shining brighter again as a true lone star of this great continent. As we trade our thoughts during these elections, this campaign season instead, we should do it void of insults, discriminations, violence, animosity, and hate. In our ideological differences, we should learn to love as one nation and one people. The election will come and go, but we as citizens and country will remain. Therefore, what matters most is the relationship that we forge. We have enjoyed the silence of the guns for more than a decade. We have initiated a process of development, though we are still not where we want to be. But if we believe that we need to continue from where we are and make the necessary adjustments where necessary, peace building and state building should be the center of our campaign messages and content of our platforms. If we must truly reconcile as a people, the time to demonstrate that is now. The relationship we build and the respect we show for one another during this election campaign time will serve as an inspiration for collaboration and reconciliation when the elections are all over. Members of the press, fellow citizens and Liberians, fellow residents, we also want to admonish our media practitioners to exercise their reportorial duties in a manner that considers the peace, development, and stability of Liberia. We are under moral obligation to ensure that in no way your pens and your microphones are used as a conduit for backwardness, violence, and instability. The fundamental of media ethics, accuracy, balance, and clarity should be considered at all time and at all length. As for our security institutions, we are calling on you to serve with the utmost degree of impartiality and patience. The professionalism you have maintained over the time needs to be protected generously, as a simple mistake could lead to havoc and chaos. We trust your judgment and ask you to guide our peace. Lives and properties must be protected in the ambit of the rule of law, and human rights must be respected at all levels. Finally, fellow citizens, as a moral cornerstone of peace and human rights in this country, the INCHR is admonishing its fellow compatriots to prioritize the peace and stability of Liberia and not their personal political interests. We ask all to see their political interests as subservient to the interests of Mama Liberia. On this note, we are pledging our full commitment to working with all political parties and candidates to ensure a peaceful election. We will religiously follow every campaign rallies and speeches. We will not renege anyway at confronting those who will engage in acts that will trigger violence and lead to the abuse or the rights of others. Thank you very much. For issue on this day, fallen on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, the first day of August 2017. Thank you very much.
So.